What's going on, everybody? Chrome on Rust here with another Diablo 3 video for you. I didn't come out with one last season. Do apologize for that. Really wasn't grinding a ton and didn't feel that maybe I was the most knowledgeable player to be assisting you in pushing leaderboards, things like that. So, I just kind of pushed the videos to the side because I was grinding a lot of Overwatch. Been having a ton of fun with it. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later, though, because this video is going to be about Diablo 3. Now, I'd like to start off and talk about a few things that happened in Season 6, and then a little bit later get into some Season 7 news, things that are going to be going down, and all that good jazz. So in Season 6, as I said, I didn't play a ton. Ended up making it to Paragon 1000, and if you played it all last season, Paragon 1000 was pretty low. I had friends or people on my friends list. I guess I can't really call them friends or whatever, but they were on my friends list and they were like 2,500 Paragon plus. It's pretty insane that people are still grinding out the Paragons that ridiculously, because as you can see, this is non-seasonal right now. The season has not gone live. We got just a couple hours and then it will be going live, but you can see that I'm at 1796. This is my non-seasonal hardcore character, and people got an additional 700 Paragon over what I've done in my entire career of Diablo 3. Now, I'm not the most efficient player. I play with friends, do things that I want. It's not all about the XP. I'm not going to be doing no boss kills or anything like that. One thing I guess that we could jump into right now is no boss kills are possibly going to be gone in Season 7. As far as I can tell, they have shifted some of the experience that you get from killing monsters. So now monsters are actually going to be granting less experience in Greater Rifts. And some of that XP has been moved to closing the rift. They're trying to, force players, basically, the most efficient way. They're not really forcing players into doing this, but, the most efficient way is how people are usually going to play. They force people to actually, kill the Rift Guardian and not do like 5 GRs higher than what you should be doing, skip the Guardian and then go to the next Rift. I personally don't like that. I like to be able to get my items. I like to be able to get my gem upgrades and everything. I'm not pushing, like 3,000 Paragon in a season. So for me, it doesn't really matter quite as much. So not too worried about that. Now, Season 6, though, it was pretty fun. We keep getting our additional stash tabs. I do have to say that's one thing that I really have been enjoying about the new season, is I can just dump a bunch of items that I get from the previous season into that new stash tab, because that's what I'm going to be doing this one. I have not gone through my Season 6 characters at all. And then I'm probably just going to be saving a few GG items, and then when I get that 9th stash tab, then I'm just going to go on my non-seasonal character, throw all my best gear in that next stash tab, and then just carry on with Season 7, because, I really don't feel like going through all this. Some of this is some pretty GG gear. Some of it's probably just okay, the best that I've found, the best that I've been able to keep without dying. So, Season 6, for me, as I said, I didn't play a ton. I ended up getting to Paragon 1000, as I said. I played a Barbarian only. Like, I didn't play any other class this season, or Season 6. At the beginning of the season, I really wasn't sure what I was going to play. We had a Demon Hunter, we had a Monk, and I don't remember the last class, I believe a Wizard. And I was thinking about running the second Demon Hunter, but in the end, I was like, well, if we're not going to have a Barbarian, Barbarian support's being pretty much meta for the previous, three seasons, I do believe. 4, 5, and 6, I believe the support Barbarian has been meta. 1 and 2, I know, was like Witch Doctor Crusader, and the third one, I'm not quite sure, what was the meta. It's been a while. This game this game did come out quite a while ago, but still just really enjoying it. And, having these seasons is something that does bring me back, and I am really excited for this one, just like I've been for the previous ones. Going to be grouping with the same guys that I always group with. We're not the fastest levelers or anything like that, but we do have a good time doing it. So I ended up getting rank 5, I do believe, on the Barbarian leaderboards. I actually haven't checked since the season closed and everything. A few days before, I know I was like 4th. Past one of the NCG boys. I knew he wasn't having that, and so yeah, sure enough, he ended up passing me. But I haven't looked since then, so we're gonna do that right now. Greater Rifts, season current, seasonal hardcore. Here we go. I've done this before. Season 6. Solo Barbs. I think I ended up around 5th. 6th. Yeah, rank 6th Barb. This guy, I didn't see him sneak in. He snuck in there at the end. Looks like ended up being 90 was the highest for hardcore seasonal on the Americas server. Not sure how far Barbarians push, but there you can see. You know, that's just always been my goal, as I say in every one of these videos, is if I get the front page, I'm doing good. I only had to get to 1,000 Paragon to hit rank 6. So, you know, I'm sure most of these players above me are above Paragon 1,000. We'll just we'll check this hero details. So that's the one thing I don't like, though, is hero details no longer show like the Paragon above here. I don't know why they removed it. It really just doesn't make sense. So now if you want to see someone's Paragon, you got to go to... I don't even know how to check it. Because now if I check this, this is going to be their non-seasonal hero. I keep going to hero details. It's going to be their non-seasonal profile. So I have no idea. I have no idea how many Paragons this guy got. Really wish they wouldn't have made that change. Unfortunately, they did. You know, that's pretty much all I had for Season 6, though. I have been rambling on here. Season 7 got some changes going down. I'm sure you probably heard new tournaments. We're getting tournaments 11 to 13. So 11, 12, and 13. 3 additional ones. There we go. You know, use fingers. One thing that I find really funny about this, if you've been playing Diablo 3 for a while, you probably already had this discussion with your buddies and everything, but back in original Diablo before ROS came out, the major reason that we ended up getting tournaments 1 through 6 was because they didn't like the monster power system. The monster power system went from, you know, you could play no monster power, or you could play monster power 1 all the way up to monster power 10, and they felt like those 11 difficulties kind of really just split up the community. And here we are, you know, a couple years later, and we're sitting in that same boat. You know, we have now even more difficulties than we did previously. Now you could say that not everybody was playing in Inferno, so, you know, I guess there was even more back then than there is now, but there is an insane amount of difficulties that you can play on. You know, you got 1 through 13. Pretty much, you know, you just kind of jump from... I don't know. When you're doing the leveling system, it really just kind of depends, like at the beginning of the season, where you're going to end up. So, I mean, a lot of the tournament levels probably will get played, but not played regularly. There's going to be a lot of people who are sitting there up at Tournament 13, and they're not going to be wanting to jump down anything below, you know, like Tournament 10 or whatever, and then it's just dividing the community. Just thought it was pretty funny that before we had too many difficulties, now I do believe we have a couple more, and, you know, everything's fine. The reasoning for doing this, though, is because they don't want someone to log in who was farming Tournament 10, you know, like 6 months ago. They don't want them to log in, and don't worry, it's not broken. Basically, they don't want them to log in and feel less powerful. Like, I was doing Tournament 10 before. Now I can't do Tournament 10. You know, if they were to scale Tournament 10's difficulty up and everything like that, up to where they scale Tournament 13. I kind of understand that. They don't want someone to log in. They were doing Tournament 10. They can no longer do it because now Tournament 10 is harder than it used to be. All right, fine, but it is getting a little bit crazy. A few too many difficulties in my opinion, but, you know, 13 being a Diablo game, it just seems rather fitting, so I don't totally care. It just seems a little weird. Supports have been pretty much killed, not completely. I'm sure there's still going to be support builds. I didn't follow the PTR a lot, just from what I've read off the patch notes. My opinion is sports are not completely dead. They're just not nearly as effective as they used to be. Topaz in the helmet, this is something that I was really happy for. Topazes now, I guess I could actually just pull the Topaz up. You are no longer going to be getting Magic Find from your Topaz. You are going to be getting reduced resource cost. Yeah, reduced resource cost on your helmet slot, so that's pretty sweet. People have been asking for this pretty much since ROS came out, which is, you know, a couple years ago. They've been like, well, Magic Find, you guys nerfed it into the ground. It's not doing anything for us. You have this really cool ability, resource cost reduction. Why don't you turn the Topaz Helm from Magic Find into this? And that is exactly what they did, you know, a couple years later. But hey, we got it. Adventure mode, we have machines and rift keys are now going to be having a higher drop rate, which is pretty nice because for me, I have been playing less and I don't want to have to farm, you know, endless amount of rifts to then, you know, when I'm trying to push, plug in an endless amount of those keys you know, the amount of greater rifts that you want to do. You got to do a rift for every greater rift pretty much, unless you get lucky and get 2, which is what they're planning on doing now. Is you're sometimes, once you're into like 11, 12, and 13, I think you're going to be pretty much getting 2 almost all the time, if not a third. I do believe I read that somewhere. Don't hold me to it, but I thought that was pretty nice. If you want to get your Hellfire amulets, you're going to have a much better chance at doing so. Not quite as much grinding, really. You know, it wasn't very fun, in my opinion, to do so. Just hunting all those keys. Blacksmith update. I don't remember what that was about. So if you read the patch notes, maybe you can just tell me. Leave a link or whatever. Leave a comment in the description if you want. And then a key to hide all UI. Now this, to me, you know, there's a lot of great changes. There's a lot of good bug fixes in the new patch that's coming up. But to me, this was the most interesting thing out of all of them. And it's kind of why I pulled up the game so I could show you this. If you hit Alt and then you hit Z, it completely removes your UI. Now this is something that I've been asking for a long time, but they took it over the top. Being Blizzard, you know, they go from one extreme to the other. Either you have everything on your screen or you have absolutely nothing on your screen. Like, why? Why would they do this? I could understand maybe if you hit Alt-Z, you know, and it made it blank, but you hit Alt-Z again, and then it brings up a couple of the actual useful things like, hey, I want to get rid of my chat box. You know, get rid of the chat box. Get rid of this here, so you can't click on that. Get rid of these here. Get rid of that. You know, it's a bit much when you're doing GRs and you're playing something like a Demon Hunter and you're sliding your mouse all over the place and you're clicking on things, but like, I don't want to remove the minimap. I don't want to remove my health bar. How am I going to know how much health I have? Yeah, I could throw the little, you know, bar above my player's head or whatever, but I mean, isn't this a bit extreme? I went to see my cooldowns at the bottom of my screen, but I hit Alt-Z and absolutely everything is gone. To me, way too much. What they really needed to do, they needed to keep the health bar, the fury bar, and the minimap. I guess they could have removed pretty much everything else, you know, other than like, you know, the buffs that come up here. They just reworked this entire bar, you know, made it all nice. We finally have our buffs. They're all pretty much displaying as far as I know, unless there's some little bug, but you know, you can have buffs all across your screen, which is amazing because we used to only be able to have 5. They do all that work and make it just right. And then they give us the feature that we want, but they just take it over the top, in my opinion. That's Blizzard, you know. They make some really great games, but sometimes they make some really weird choices. But that's just life, right? You know, that's just us as humans. So, Season 7, not really sure what class I'm going to be playing. That was pretty much all I had for this video. Just kind of wanted to make sure I hit you up with the video real quick, told you what was going on. So that is going to be it for me. I am Chrome on Rust for Core Expert Gaming. Will there be more videos coming out for Diablo this season? I really don't know because last season I grinded out 1,000 Paragon. That doesn't take very long. Near the end of the season, I made my final push, hit top 6, and it was GG. You know, if more people were playing, it wouldn't be that easy for me to do so. But since there's not a ton of people, it is that easy for me. Well, I shouldn't say that. That sounds a little... There were times where I definitely doubted myself in being able to push into the top 12. I'll just throw it at that. Not that it was easy, okay? So thanks for stopping by, checking out the channel. And yeah, that's all I had for you. Good luck Season 7. Enjoy your nice stash tab. And I will see you in the future. Chrome on Rust for Core Expert Gaming. I am out of here. Like, subscribe if you would. And you all, of course, as always, have a great day.
Огонь по готовности! Justice reigns from above!
I've got you in my my way.